we spent a lot of time looking at this. Were we bold enough to just make the leap to being Tigers? Were we bold enough to sort of say, actually, we're Cass? Everybody calls them locally, we're Cass. And I know at one point I was quite focused on that. And we had that big debate, or it should be Castleford or should be Castleford Tigers. How do we actually brand us? How do we see ourselves? But I think what this did as well was it gave us a lot of ideas for sub-brands or brand development or leisure wear development, whatever it might be, in terms of we've got to a stage here where we're starting to nail down the logo. We've gone with the shield. We've got a font that we're now comfortable with. But now, how can we play with that a little bit? So this slide for me gave lots of ideas, not just for now, but for the future as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly well put together.
Yeah, there isn't another 3 letters really, other than initialisms, that are more powerful and synonymous with a club as Cass. Yeah. Other than really, if you look in football, there's Cov for Coventry. I don't think there's really another major club that has that 3 letters that you can really work.
No.
So I think it's definitely a powerful thing to us to incorporate into the brand, but we're not just Cass, we're Castleford as well, and I think everyone feels that, and that's why I think it was not necessarily the right thing to do. To just
I think we went round and round, didn't we? I think a little bit.
It terrified me to start with the casting. To be honest, it was a bit. I don't know about that. It seems a bit much. I thought about it. I thought, well, there's really valid points being made as well. It's everything down to it's the abbreviation on Sky Sports. It's Cass. People call us Cass on commentary, and it's definitely something we need to build on. I think, like I said, I don't think prepared to go this far in terms of having it on the badge just yet, but I think it's definitely something to build on. Even Tiger, I think Tigers was probably the one I was probably more open to start with.
I fully nearly were like, I'll push Tigers, I think, just because of the whole, we could be known everywhere as Tigers.
You've got the Dolphins in the NRL.
Exactly.
The same thing. They're not known as Redcliffe, despite being there. They are Dolphins. It was a real thing for that.
But we've been Castleford, as we said, for 100 years. This club isn't anything without the town of Castleford. So I think it was really important that we.
It was a really good exercise. This.
It was.
It really was.
I would never have thought about not having the word Castleford on the badge before.
I think for me, it just shows how far we'd come, because this was over several months, and then have this whole selection here, and it really shows how we've tested ourselves as we've gone along throughout the whole process, and to have that dashboard of so many options, it challenged us, but it did it in a good way, that we've been through every sort of iteration that we could do.
And like you said about sub-brands, because we put that much thought into every single one, there's so much can go out in the future.
But that's exactly right, because we came out of this, I think we sort of came back to the Castleford Tigers, but it sort of indicated to us we can use Cass, we can use Tigers in other ways, and that gives us great opportunities going forward in terms of moving the brand on or working with sub brands out of this.
And at this stage, we were also showing JT with and without the white in his eyes and teeth. So we then used the refined tiger for the crest, and
I guess the
Aaron-
choice is now. Sorry.
sorry.
Go for it.
I just wanted the tiger on its own. That's what I put out there. I like the shield, but I was like half and half. I wanted the tiger to be aggressive and intimidating a little bit. I wanted him everywhere. But then when you put him on the shield, it then ties the whole heritage, the Castleford area. Everything comes together.
It's a powerful symbol, not just the Roman style shield, but even in sport, tapping the shield, it's something that you can fight for, as the Romans did as well, I guess. Not to make out like we're an army, but it gives you something to fight for, having that defined shape, I think, as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's something that's very rugby league as well. To be
Absolutely,
honest, as much as we are before thinking of this, I think we have been. I think there is a rugby league element to the shield. You look around the NRL, you look around even Super League itself. There are quite a lot of kind of shield shapes.
The NRL logo is a shield.
Exactly. Yeah. The Super League logo is a shield.
I think you sent in a picture of it against every other badge, and that convinced me. Yeah,
It pops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause even though it was a shield, it's a similar-ish shape to a St Helens or a Wakefield or something like that. I think the colour itself, anyway, and like the fierceness of the tiger we've got, I think it really made it stand out across some other quite modernish logos as well. To be fair, that have only come out in the last few years, but actually, I think this stood out clearly.
And I think it will really contrast with what we have at the moment.
100%.
So it really does, and we're leaping forward here and sort of almost catching up. Hopefully, we're moving ahead.
And we're taking all the good with us. 1986 stripes and the spirit of that time is all in this locker.
I think, like I said earlier, I think every element had to mean something to me. You've got the shield, you've got the name, you've got the colours, you've got the tiger, 1926, and then the stripes, as we talked about. I know, yes, there were hoops in 1986, and I appreciate that, but
you can still see what they are. They're the 86 stripes.
and I like that. I do like the idea. I kind of coined it to start with, and I know we talked about it. About I kind of like the fact they're aiming upwards because it is a little bit different, and actually you can kind of metaphor that all you want. That actually we are looking forwards.
The tiger's still coming at you as well.
And now we've got a whole system. We've got the official stamp, we've got the shield, the crest, the reference to CAS, tigers, and that going forward. And we've also introduced a paw print that can be used.
And going to your guys' points, it's still the focal point, isn't it? The tiger. To the whole identity that we've got.
Yeah.
It's all the tiger. And it's 2 colours that can be used with any application. And then we've got the variants with the gold for the kits.
And I think it works really well as a stamp or as a shield.
Yeah.
So it works both ways for different areas. It just works for me.
Yep. Yep. So we're respecting heritage and embracing tomorrow.
And it looks good on its own there as well, I think.
It does.
Even against the white.
That's what I would say. I love it on its own as well.
You put the tiger anywhere, and
It's a sign
it
off.
pops, doesn't it?
That and the paw print are my sign-offs. Yeah. Okay. Everything we've tried to do for this rebrand has been in respect to what is currently here now, in whatever format it's in whatever colourway it is. So we've tried to respect the heritage and embrace where Castleford want to be tomorrow.
It is all about the heritage to an extent with the fan base. You know, we've got 100 years of incredible history, but at the same time, there are always new people being born, new people coming into the club, new people becoming fans, and I think certainly this club and a lot of them can definitely be accused of just stopping still. You know, 2017 onwards, the club didn't really move forward. I think in many different ways. But at the same time, we know that there's 100 years of history and there are generations of fans that don't want to just be completely ignored and left behind. And I think we've managed to do that.
Absolutely. I think, as you say, 100 years of history, but there's 100 years forward as well. There's the next 100 years. And I hope we've managed to nail that in the sense that we have got a very forward-thinking look now. I really do think that. And also, if you really look at particularly the shield and various things, there's actually more references to history in that than there is the original tiger.
The original thing didn't really have anything, Castleford, it was just a tiger.
We've added elements to it, and then a modern tiger, which should be that should be the future when you look at it for me.
Yeah.
For me, this was a hugely important project. We've talked about rebranding. As the current custodian of this club, I was just very aware that we had to be respectful to our heritage, be proud of our heritage, but we need to set the scene for the next 100 years and for the next generation. And it's very important for me that I leave some form of legacy that people can take forward beyond where we all are at the moment and really embrace what we're doing. So for me, it's been a massively important project. People will see the end design and just look at it what it is, but I think what we've put into it to get there covers all of the sort of issues, all of the areas we wanted to sign off on, everything we wanted to capture about the club itself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is exactly the same for so many people. This club is a huge part of me, but it's my dad, it's my grandparents, it's their parents, and it will be my children and my grandchildren, I hope. So it's about thinking about that, past and present. And
It's setting the scene, it's being respectful for the heritage, it's setting the scene to move forward as well.